channel. It's great to be with you. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. I am so pleased that you have joined us in our lovely corner of the coloring community. I hope that you will find many fun videos and inspiration on the channel. Today's video is all about the coloring plans. I have very loose coloring plans for June, July, and into August. Now, the reason I'm spreading it out so far is really because lately I'm really pressed for time. I've got a lot of responsibilities that are requiring my attention, and on top of it, I've also hit a coloring block, quite a big one actually. And part of how I'm trying to work through that coloring block is to not resist it, but to actually sit with it. In the meantime, I've been doing a lot of drawings, paintings. I've been finding free workshops, painting workshops on Instagram, and I've been signing up for those. And what that's really done is it's just giving me a creative outlet in a different way, building up some skills and teaching myself some new things that hopefully will come in and transfer into my coloring. Now, I'm not giving up on coloring. I still love coloring. I think that having all these amazing illustrations to choose from and to explore and look at is a great way to relax and to be creative. That being said, sometimes we get into a coloring block, and to be quite honest, I went and put myself to some extent in this coloring block. I got myself really hyped up over a coloring page, and in the process put myself under unnecessary pressure. And as a result of that, plus other stress in my personal life, I've just kind of closed in. So I've got these two journals here, and this is more of my art journal where any ideas I have, I'm doing in here. And also this is where I follow along in the workshops that I'm participating in. So what I've also been doing to help myself through this coloring block is I've come into the Learn to Watercolor lessons by Lacey Walker from Rebel Unicorn Crafts. And what I've been doing is I've been going through here, and I've been doing more of the tutorials that are available in this book. You can check out the review for this Learn to Watercolor book up on the channel. I will link it in the description below for you, and I will tag it up here. So what I've been doing is just, I've done this one, made a big hot mess, practiced this one, made a big hot mess, and then I did this one, and just teaching myself how to use the watercolors, learning from people who are more experienced than I am, and growing my skills. So I'm using this plus the free watercolor masterclasses that I can find, which I do in this book. So if you go on Instagram and you look up Drawing Dog 24, these were some of the pictures that I did alongside with that. So I don't take credit for these pictures. This is my creation of the masterclass while following along. And then, you know, I make a lot of mistakes while I'm doing it, but I'm learning alongside the importance of sketching, working alongside. I really enjoy doing the boats. Then here, you know, this was my version, made a hot mess here, but also learning to be okay with making a mess. So, and then I joined Artifacto, I think it's Artifacto School or Artifacto Academy, and they sometimes have free workshops. So I did this one, learned how to do the same, you know, sketches, and then use color to block out highlights and shadows. And I really want to start implementing this technique even with my coloring pages, where I roughly sketch the idea of the page and then put in watercolor paints for what I want to do and see how it will look before I even go coloring pages. This one was my completed version of Mont Saint Michael here. And then this is the drawing that I've been doing along with a still life free watercolor workshop. So I managed to do the drawing following the lady doing it. So this is probably my first detailed drawing I've done since 2019, I think. So this on its own has been really encouraging. It's like, don't worry, girl, you can still kind of draw, you're doing fine. But I'm really enjoying doing these sort of things to encourage myself out of my comfort zone. Then this is my personal journal, and it's a bit of a mix match of things. So for instance, this is my meal plan for one of my weeks, and practicing all these different little watercolor tutorials. Here, just messing around, giving myself permission to play. I got inspired by a picture, a reel I saw on Instagram, so I've tried to adjust it to make it mine. But yeah, and I even added acrylic markers, made a big mess, but you know, nature journaling here. There's a few other places. Here is a game of Coracle. So it's a mixed match of all sorts of things. Let's see if I can pull this one out for you. So this is like an art therapy one that I did. The point of all of this isn't to have an agenda and actually be something. It's sitting with my coloring block and literally trying to work through it. So watercolor paint at the moment is really calling me, learning new things, trying different styles, experimenting. And I'm hoping by following my heart and doing that, it will lift the coloring block I'm in and inspire me to go back in. So because of all of this, my coloring plans are not going to be for July or for June, but maybe over a couple months, because I don't know when this block is going to lift. I'm excited about where I'm going. I think that in the bigger picture of things, it's a good thing. But I also wanted to share it with you because I wanted to encourage you that if you find yourself in a coloring block, you're not alone. We all handle it differently, and this is just the way I've chosen to handle this coloring block. But I haven't completely neglected my coloring books, because after I do some work in these 3 books, as I feel the need, I end up moving into coloring books. I have been working very gently on this double page spread in Romantic Country, The Third Tale by Erie. And except for this is the pencil work I've started putting on top, but everything else has been watercolor. I'm really am enjoying it and practicing different things and just trying to get my brain to just go, it's okay. You don't have to have everything whatever way you think you have to. It can just be. That's the biggest lesson I need to learn at the moment in coloring, is just to be. To be quite honest, I think it's a good lesson for life, but I think I really need to apply it in this area as well. I don't know how this page is going to look when it's done, and it's okay. It will look okay. It will be what it will be, and that's good. So, you know, I'm gently working on this one, and then in Leon's journey, this book is so inspiring for watercolor. Oh my gosh, the paper is incredible. It's like fast becoming my water paint page. But then you have this page here, and so far everything on this page has been done with watercolor paint, and me trying to implement some of the techniques and things that I am learning. I have found some YouTube channels that have almost, videos that show you how to paint certain things like landscapes and that, and I'm planning on putting that into my one sketchbook and practicing and growing that way. And then there are moments where I also come into dark fairy tales, and I go back to my Beauty and the Beast whip, which is somewhere in here. And as you can see, I've been blocking out the rest of the books and coming back to finish it. Now, I'm not going to finish filming this because the way I color the shelves and the books on this side is the exact same way I'm going to color here. And the way I've done this critter, I'm going to do here. So there's no need to do a video. I'm also going to do all the white stuff on her dress and on the floor. I'm going to do in gold gel pen like I did the ceiling. So there will be a few things that I'll do off camera, but really for the bulk part, I've shown you how I color it, and that's how I'm going to finish it. So I am working on this and trying to finish it up, and I will carry on doing this book and these other two books over July and August. That being said, I do have a few plans starting to form in my mind. So in Tales from the Forest Kingdom, for example, there is a page near Mr. Tumnus the Fawn. I think quite a few of us think of him. So on this page, I want to create half of the picture colored, and then almost like these water drops or this paint spills kind of going down off of them. But I'm thinking I'll actually cut it in half and create like this waxy paint sort of feel to it. And then I'll leave some of the page uncolored, and it will be done on purpose. So I want to play with that sort of thing because I really want to keep challenging myself to look at each beautiful illustration and say, all right, how do I make this mine? What's my take? Instead of thinking I need to follow a specific idea or whatever my head is saying. I'm trying to move past that and just come and bring my own creative spin on things. So it's, stepping out and exploring. So that's in Tales from the Forest Kingdom. And then in Seasons by Hannah Carlson, I have also got a picture I really want to do. And it's the marigold, not marigold, I think it's, what's it called? Magnolia, this one. And what I want to do is roughly sketch it in my sketch pad, play with the colors, and I want to create like a watercolor background where it's, and then I want to do the picture on top. So, I'm playing with those sort of ideas, and I think the more I just follow and sit in this coloring block, the more I'm giving myself the space to work through it. But then I also have R.J. Hampson's Around the World, which I still want to get into. I quite liked doing this one. I haven't decided yet what sort of materials I'm going to use, but I think, doing this in the background, because it's quite far back, you don't need a lot of detailing. You can easily do a beautiful sky. The water won't be terribly difficult. So it's not an overly complex page to do. And I think with a bit of thought, it can be done quite well. So I would like to come in and do that. Of course, we have Paula Brun's Amazon. And I do want to get into this one. I still really like the idea of doing this page. And I want to use Inktense pencils. And I might put colored pencils on top, but I want to really see if I can do the bulk of it with Inktense pencils. And I think I'm not even going to look up what these plants are in the real world. I'm going to color them to complement the bird. So I'm thinking green leaves, darker green, yellowy green, and then make these flowers white with maybe bits of chartreuse yellow for accents. So, in some ways I want to deliberately force myself to just think, what would I do instead of what it should be. So that would be that one. And then in Mythographic Dragon Spell, I have this one page. Oh, it's so beautiful. There's two in here. I really want to do this page, and I'm thinking dark blues into almost like parrot green, light aqua, white sort of colors. So those sort of analogous but very striking. And the other one was, I think, further along here somewhere. There's quite a few in this book I'd love to color, so we'll see how it goes. Where is it? Ah, this one. I quite like this one. So those two I would like to color in Mythographic Dragon Spell by Joseph Kadambane. Then we have, I've gone and marked my pages with books. All right, so Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. The page I want to do in here is this one. I love the idea of making bricks and then kind of putting like green on the bricks so that it looks like there's moss growing. I'm not sure about the curtain, but I like the idea of a brass sort of metal here. And I'll look up the characters and just draw inspiration from the characters. So it feels like a manageable page. So I like the idea of doing that. And then in Magical Delights by Clara Markova, my middle son has asked me to color this page because he wanted me to do a fire. So I'm going to need to color this. And again, I'm going to roughly sketch it and then play with ideas for the color before coming in, just so I can see how that would work and how, you know, will it save me time? Will it help my coloring process or not? I don't know. So yeah, looking forward to doing this. So those are my coloring plans for the next few months. I don't know how much I'll get done. I'm hoping I'll get more done with time. July is a very busy month for us as a family, so I'm not really sure how my coloring is going to look in the month, but I'm just going to take it one day at a time, and hopefully in more August I'll have a lot more time to sit down and color and do. So I really am hoping by the end of August I would have built up a lot more momentum, and fingers crossed the coloring block would have lifted by then. But in the meantime, this is how I'm going to deal with my coloring block. I'm just gonna follow the workshops I have found that are free online. I'm gonna carry on painting along with beautiful artists who make amazing pictures. Practice learning. I'm going in August for a group workshop, face-to-face group workshop. I signed myself up for some urban sketching masterclass, and yeah, I'm just, you know, doing what we can to work through. And if nothing else, you know, I'm learning skills on the process. So I'm taking the channel with me on this journey. That is what my channel is for. My channel is really a space for me to just share me in an artistic way with whoever enjoys it. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being with me and supporting me with all your lovely comments and likes, and even on the lives, which I do host every Monday. It's always really deeply appreciated, your encouragement, your support, and just knowing that you're there and you care. It really goes a long way. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I hope that you have a wonderful month ahead, or a few months ahead coloring. If I change my plans and I need to update, I'll put another video like this up. You know, I'm just gonna go with the flow. Thanks for listening. Thanks for caring. Happy coloring to you all. Lots of loves and hugs. Bye.